Welcome to the Golden Note Podcast, everyone. My name is Jesse.
And I'm Karen Deep.
Today we are going to be reviewing This Is Why by Paramore. Tell us, Karen, why is it this?
It is this because why is this? I love this record.
Smooth.
Did you have a stroke as well?
Tell us. No, I was very ambiguous there. What's the background of this album?
I don't know much about the background.
Because you're a big Paramore fan.
I am. But I also don't look up anything about background for any of these records.
Okay.
So it's a tough question, but I do believe that this was related around COVID times. This was one of their newer records. They've had some personnel changes in the past. I don't know exactly what those personnel changes are, but this sound is fresh, and a lot of Paramore fans may or may not like this record.
Yeah. That's interesting, actually. I never even thought of that, because it is a bit of a different sound for sure. I would call Paramore, so for anyone who's less familiar with Paramore, I would make the argument that they they were like the last bearers of the torch for pop punk in like a very mainstream sense.
Yes.
In the mid to late 2000s, right? Because I feel like it went like Blink-182, then Fall Out Boy, and then I feel like Paramore took up that mantle.
Did Marianas Trench fit the bill?
I don't think so, because Marianas Trench is like very Canadian. I feel like Paramore is, they're American obviously, but I feel like Paramore is also just way bigger than Marianas Trench. So I would say like Paramore is like probably the last like very mainstream popular pop punk band. So that's kind of like my background little thing about them is also like Haley's just like such a top tier singer, which I'm sure we'll talk about.
One of the best. Fantastic.
Yeah. But like you should know that going into this album is that like expect to hear like world class singing in most people's opinions.
Yeah.
So anyways, let's talk about why this is with This Is Why. I keep making such a bad joke with this album name. Okay, let's talk about the album cover.
Yes. So what do we see here?
It looks like they're just squishing their faces on like the shower glass or something. Like it's the glass of like something that's been steamed up.
Yeah. It's definitely steamy. It's interesting. I think it's fun. It kind of shows some personality. I never really thought about it too deeply, but thinking about it now, definitely the idea of isolationism or perspective behind the glass and wondering the perspective of looking through the glass. Like what is on the other side? There's a lot of commentary about that in this record.
Yeah, true. I didn't even think about that. I like it. I think it's fun.
I think the text is kind of strange. It feels like somebody just put it into like Microsoft Paint and threw some text on there, but it kind of works.
It works. It's very minimalist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. Overall, I like the album cover. Yeah, I give it a thumbs up. Yeah. And the album name, I like it too, right? It's provocative a little bit. Like, why is it? What are they talking about? And then it's a title track. It's the first song. Sorry, it's the first song on the album is the title track.
So what's interesting about that is your question of This Is Why. Like, what does that even mean? What's the context of it? Is immediately answered, which is very relieving. Compared to some other records.
Yeah, true. Cosmos Factory.
Cosmos Factory is still a question mark. I still don't know why that is, but This Is Why is answered. So I do appreciate
and so
that.
what is the answer as we get into this first track?
The chorus goes, "This is why I don't leave the house. You said the coast is clear, but you don't catch me out. You don't something about me out.
Why?
But something about like leaving the house. And I think it's definitely COVID related.
It's very relevant to the time it was released, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to, the first song lyrically is all about just like, isn't it like hating other people and not wanting to leave the house, or like people doing dumb things? And so she's just like, this is why I don't leave the house, because y'all are being dumb.
Yeah, it's like being very judgmental about other people's opinions, or people being judgmental about opinions in general, and just being like, well, this is why I don't go outside, because everyone's kind of mean.
Yeah.
And everyone doesn't know how to have a conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So lyrically, I think the song's great. The first song, which is the title track.
Yeah.
And again, Hayley Williams, just like such a good singer. So you'll get that sense with right off the bat. Is there like xylophone in the bridge. There's like some sort of xylophone sounds or something.
There's a lot of funky stuff. I think there's a bassoon somewhere later on in the track as well.
Okay.
So it wouldn't come past me to know that they put some xylophone in there.
Yeah.
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 Cool.
I'm cool to move to the next track if
Let's
you are.
do it. Yeah.
The news. And so once again, I feel like lyrically we're following a certain theme or trend where we're just talking about how everything is lame in terms of like the external world and just like other people and events happening. And once again, with this album kind of being at the end, being released at the end of COVID-19, we can very much relate to the news and our conflicting feelings of like, we want to watch the news, but the news is honestly like damaging us psychologically at this point with like all of the negative news coverage. And so that's kind of what the song is talking about, right? Is just like turn on, turn off the news, right?
Yeah.
That's what I do.
It's kind of like feeling helpless with everything that's going on.
Yeah.
That's being shoved down your throat and wanting to help, but not knowing how to help and feeling like powerless in that sense. And I think that's a feeling that many, like it's, again, I think this whole record is just a commentary of that whole time. And I think a lot of people felt this way, trying to be productive, trying to be a part of the solution rather than the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally agree. The intro is very aggressive, which I love. In the like going back to lyrics, she talks about war on the other side of the planet, war, but there's a war between my eyes. So it's like, how can I care about like all these wars happening in other countries when it's like I'm dealing with a ton of issues by myself, right? It's like I can't just like also bear that weight of what's happening over there too. It's just too much, right?
Yeah, or deciphering what the truth really is. That becomes an issue as well.
Yeah. And just in general, it's relatable because it's like the news sucks, but also you don't want to be misinformed. So it's like you want to watch the news, you want to turn the news on, right? So that you can like understand what's going on, at least from my perspective. This is a personal thing for me. But it can also just be too much, and it's important to turn off the news sometimes. And also be aware of what the news is feeding you. And, you know, do we have to know about every single negative thing that happens across the world, or even like, you know, how the media fixates a lot on like negativity and like one-off cases of violence when it's like, you know, can we talk about the good stuff too, right? Can we like highlight positive things? So I don't know. That was just my little ramble.
Yeah. Well, how about this? What are like some songs that really stood out to you, good and bad?
On this, the whole album?
Yeah.
Let me look through my notes. I just one last thing about this track though. The songwriting is just in general on point. The phrasing in the chorus, everything's just so crafted expertly, in my opinion. And it's just like, as we're recording this, Hayley Williams has released a solo album, and it's receiving a ton of critical acclaim.
Great.
So it's just like testament again to just like how talented Hayley is, not only vocally but her just ability to craft songs. In general, if you want to go that way rather than going song by song?
I think so.
Yeah. Running Out of Time doesn't stand out compared to the other two that we just like the other first two songs, but I think Williams, her voice shines on that one. I don't like I feel like we can still go song by song because I don't have a ton of notes on every song.
No problem. You go ahead. I can chime in whenever because I'm very familiar with this record. It's definitely one of my favorites. This is one of my picks.
This is bias, yeah.
Huge bias. And I guess I'd love to comment more about the album overall. So I'll be happy to go through your notes of each song.
Okay.
And we can kind of talk about it overall at the end.
Okay, sounds good. So yeah, Running Out of Time for me was fine, but it wasn't a standout.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
I would agree. Okay. I think it's fun. It's kind of cute. It's like, okay, great. You're a ball of anxiety and you're making excuses like everybody does. Yeah. But just do better.
Yeah. C'est Comme Ça is a similar vein for me where it's just like a fun song, but doesn't really do anything for me.
Yeah.
And I've never been a fan of the na-na-nas in songs in general.
Me neither.
With Hey Jude being the only exception.
Fair.
There's a lot of na-na-nas in that song.
It's a lot.
This
one's kind of quirky and it's like, it's a little too weird for me. I think I just don't enjoy it as much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big Man, Little Dignity. This is when it picks up again on the album. This is a song that I saved when I first listened to this album a couple of years ago. I love the flute. There's some flute in here, some ethereal flute.
Yeah.
Love the synths in the chorus. The backing vocals are great. There's flute that comes back in the outro, which I was a big fan of. And yeah, overall great song.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the commentary on this one is very interesting, and I love the chorus.
It's so catchy.
It's so catchy.
Big man. Yeah. Little dignity.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. So it's a very creative way to kind of express that whole opinion there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what's the next one? You First?
You First, yeah. I think You First and Figure Eight to me is like a pair of songs that are just really high energy.
Yeah.
And I enjoy these two a lot.
Yeah. I think the lyrics are just really great in You First.
Mm-hmm.
It's just very emblematic of the whole album. And it does leave little room for imagination, which I tend towards those lyrics more.
Mm-hmm.
I just love when a lyricist is very clear cut and like, this is what the song's about. So I really appreciated that with the track. Yeah. And then Figure Eight was another big standout for me that I saved on my phone the first time around.
Great. Yeah. That's definitely one of my top tracks on the record.
Okay.
But You First, there's a bridge. I never said I wasn't petty. Never. Like that whole groove is just so cool.
I'm curious. What are the lyrics in that part?
I think
No, I want you to sing it.
No, I don't know. I don't know all of them.
I'm just calling you out.
Thank you. If anything you guys should know is I'm horrible with lyrics, and there's a reason why I don't sing very often.
Yeah.
Thankfully, he's really good at lyrics. And he sings very well.
I'm okay at remembering lyrics, but
much better than I am.
Okay, I'll take it.
But it's like a really cool groove. It's still a bridge where there's a lot of excitement, a lot of energy, but it still comes down very effectively. But it doesn't lose the energy, which is why I really liked it. Yeah. And I think only Haley could have pulled it off in her lyric performance.
Yeah,
and that's where it like really holds everything together. It's kind of a crutch, I feel like, with this band. However, not this record, but maybe the band overall, they've really relied on the talent of Haley Williams. But I think on this record, the musicianship and overall crafting of each song carried its own weight.
Okay.
So I felt like she was well supported in this record. And this is one of the songs in Figure Eight that I feel like they did a great job of supporting her talents.
Kind of like finally carrying their weight a little bit. And
yeah. Like doing something.
Doing something, finally. Yeah. I mean, I have sympathy for them because I feel like Haley Williams is just such a underrated beast of an artist. You know, like she's just so talented in so many different ways, and so it's like hard to compete.
It really is, yeah.
Yeah, but I do understand what you're saying. It's like it's good that the band is able to shine and also like carry their weight a little bit. Yeah, Liar is the next track for me that I thought was pretty cool. Chorus is calming almost, and the drums are also kind of jazzy as well, a little bit,
yeah.
So appreciated the drums on that track. Crave was nice, didn't do too much for me. It's kind of just like an indie pop rock track. Yeah. I don't know if you had any thoughts about those songs.
I really like Crave, especially.
Yeah.
It's like something about this kind of melancholy, reflective kind of tone to the lyrics and also to the song. It can be very heartbreaking depending on where your mind's at, because it's like trying to chase a memory that is fading away.
Okay.
And I think there's something powerful with that message, especially it being kind of later on in the end of the record where there's a lot of explicit lyrics, a lot of explicit storytelling.
Yeah.
Whereas this one is really more up to interpretation. It's kind of like if you get it, you get it. If it connects, it connects with you. But if it hits, you're just a mess. So I was a mess for a while putting the song on repeat. So I enjoyed it.
Nice. I feel bad now because I was just like, yeah, it's nice.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, I'll have to revisit that one. But for me, Thick Skull, which is the last song on the album, that one really hit for me. Like the lyricism is just so good on this one. And then singing is great. The recording quality, it really like the recording quality and the mic that they used and the way that they recorded her voice on this is just like she's like whispering in your ear. You know, like she's right there, and it's almost freaky. It's like she's in the room with you.
Yeah.
Are they there right now? Are they in the room with you right now, Jesse?
Is everything okay?
Yeah, right. No, it's just like whatever they did to record her voice on this track, it was just like chef's kiss. Yeah. Very well done. Yeah. So I was very impressed with that. And overall, I guess, did you want to comment?
Well, yeah, I mean, on that note, with the sound and the mixing, I thought overall this whole record was just mixed beautifully.
Yeah.
It's such a modern sound, but they've taken creative liberties in certain moments with some reverb, some layering, but it always felt tight and cohesive.
Yeah.
And I think this record stands out compared to every other Paramore record because it's not just a rock band playing rock tunes. It's like they've crafted this.
Yeah.
There's a lot of intention in a lot of the musical elements, and it's a very fresh sound and still is very fresh to me. Like,
Yeah.
I use this as a mixed reference for a lot of the stuff that I'm trying to do now.
Oh, nice.
Because I feel like it's so modern but impactful, and it brings out sound in a very balanced way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really good way of putting it. Yeah, I think in general with this album, it was the first Paramore album that I ever listened to all the way through, and I enjoyed it. I was happy to hear Haley killing it vocally, and I feel like all the elements just came together perfectly, right? Like, as you said, the band was able to keep up and pull their weight. There's some, really great instrumental talent showcased, and the lyrics are great. Just everything came together, and it was just like exactly what you would want to come together for an album to make it great. So
one critique I have is because it's so focused on that time frame of the pandemic, that it's going to date itself, and I already think it already has. Even when it released, it was kind of like on the tail end of things.
Okay.
So I feel like the subject matter will lose its impact, and I think it already has lost its impact to some degree. But it's nice to know that this was a record with a lot of intention and clarity. Like, this is what it was meant to be.
Yeah.
It wasn't meant to be anything else, and it was going to stand on its own in this time.
Yeah.
It wasn't meant to be larger than what it was. So I can enjoy it for what it is, but even now it's like I have to make a conscious decision to revisit, knowing that it's from a different time.
You're right.
Knowing it's not going to really resonate with what's happening today.
Yeah. No, I can see where you're coming from with that. I do think they were intentional though, where they don't really like explicitly mention anything related to the pandemic or lockdown. Yeah. So I feel like there is room for these songs to like have relevance in the future. Like with the news, it's like the news. Like we can always relate. I feel like right now, like the news is kind of, in my opinion, pretty crazy. And so it's like, I want to turn off the news, and I can relate to this song. But I do understand where you're coming from, especially if you were there at the time listening to this album with COVID being your, we're living through COVID, right? So it's like, but for people born after this album was released, I feel like they'll still be able to connect to it.
That's true. I hope not, but yeah, that's true.
Right. I guess my overall, if I had to have an overall critique, it's that when I listen to this album and I listen to the songs off this album, I'm like, this is great. Let's play their older songs.
So you want to go back to like that punk
it's
rock?
almost like a teaser or like a appetizer to like
Misery
the nostalgic
Business
that I have with like Misery Business. And like, when I hear Haley's voice, I just remember how good it sounds with like the edgier pop punk songs that they were doing on older albums. And like she's just belting away on those tracks, and it's just like, oh man, like I get a taste of that here, but now I want the whole meal with like their more like edgier stuff, right? Whereas like I feel like her voice is a lot more toned down on this, and that's just like a personal taste thing for me. But I do understand why people love this album so much and why it did receive so much critical acclaim when it was released.
It's interesting to me because it's not like, it doesn't feel like a traditional rock, punk rock, whatever indie rock album it is. I think it's more indie rock than anything, but still it feels like they've captured its own sound for this record. Yeah. And I find that very interesting because it's hard for me to compare it one-to-one with any other stuff.
It is, yeah.
And so it existing on its own, to me, adds to that freshness, and with the way it was mixed, because I feel like maybe it's a little bit of both. It was mixed in a certain way because the musical arrangement was in a very particular way. Yeah. That wasn't really genre defining. And I think that that's what really excites me about this album sonically. But there's also a lot of moments where the songwriting and the lyrics were very impactful, whether they were clear and prescriptive or a little bit more open-ended. But I think the sonic qualities of this record, the arrangements, the musicianship, was what stood out to me the most. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's so weird because you're listening to this, is like you can tell that it's different, right? You can tell that it doesn't really sound like anything else, but it doesn't
also it doesn't feel like it's also defining a genre.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's or defining a new genre. It's still very much a rock album, right? It's just rock done so well and done with a Paramore's spin on it and like with Paramore's maturity, right? It feels like a mature Paramore where they're just at the top of their game instrumentally and lyrically, and because they're so good at what they do and they've grown so much, it feels like they're carving their own little path. But that path is still very much like within the garden of rock music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's interesting for sure.
I'm curious about you knowing that this is one of my picks, and knowing that I enjoy this record a lot. What has this record revealed about me or like my musical taste? Because I know there's another pick that I had with a previous Interpol record.
Yeah.
And that must have been quite a surprise from what we had to talk about there. I'm curious, what is your reflection on me sharing this record with you?
My reflection would be that the guitar work, once again, like I didn't really mention too much about the guitar work, but I can, like, the guitar work is amazing in this, and I can hear that influence in your playing.
Right.
And I would say there's jazz elements to this album that I can see you connecting with.
Yeah.
Right? So overall, I think that's what kind of, what I think about.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah. And you inspired me a couple of years ago to listen to this album because I remember it came out and you were like, dude, this album's so good.
Yeah.
You should check it out. And I was like, all right, I got to check it out. So
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you for checking it out.
Hey, thank you for pushing me to listen to it, or for like inspiring me to listen to it. So
Definitely. And thank you all for listening about our conversation about this record.
Yeah.
Any other?
We got to rate it.
We do. But any other closing thoughts before we give our rating?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you like to go first?
Sure. I'm going to give this a 3.5 out of 5.
Nice.
And that's, you might initially think that's low, but I don't think so. I think 3.5 out of 5 is still really great. And it's just the only thing for me is going back to what I said before about my general critique. I just have that nostalgic factor of like maybe wanting to listen to their older stuff, and this kind of making me think about that and being like almost like an appetizer to like the really great stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Nice. I'm gonna give it a 3.
Oh wow. Why? Dude, oh my gosh. I'm not gonna say anything. Okay, tell me.
I give it a 3 because there's only really 3 songs on this record I like.
What? Oh my gosh, you might. Okay, you
Is
guys,
there rhyme and reason to this? I don't know.
You guys don't understand the amount of times he's ranted and raved about how great this album is. And I was like, yeah, 3 out of 5, and I only like 3 songs on that album. It's like, what?
There's something about doing this perspective of album reviews on this podcast that I have to consider basically the whole lineage of music itself. And I think in that frame of reference, especially that we started off with 1001 albums to listen to before you die, with that being like my frame of reference for how I'm critiquing some of this stuff, it really is a 3. Like it's fine. It's a great, it had its moment.
Yeah.
There's like 3 moments that I really like.
Yeah.
But in the grand scheme of things, I really don't think it's going to be the lasting impact.
Right.
The cultural revolutionary thing.
Yeah.
It's a good album.
It doesn't have like that longevity. Yeah.
And like my personal preference of it, I don't think has, like, if I would have given it a higher rating if what I believed was really exciting about this album was also what you exactly picked up on. Like if you resonated everything that I had been excited about, whether I shared that explicitly in words or not, I would think that, great, there must be something more impactful about this record that maybe I didn't realize because I couldn't put all of it into words sharing this record with you.
Yeah.
But because it seemed like it's just fine, it's great, you want to listen to all this stuff, then that to me is like a data point against me believing that this is worthy of more praise than what I'm giving it now.
Fair point.
Yeah. So
interesting.
3 points right there.
You just shocked me, man, but it's great. And hopefully you're shocking our audience too. You're providing that shock factor.
Let us know if I shocked you.
Yeah. And let us know how you felt. Please leave a comment or a like. And also subscribe to us if you want us to keep publishing videos. It's a nice little reminder that we're doing something good here. So give us that vote of confidence. And let us know what you think, because we'll comment and reply to your comments. So we're reading everything.
Yes. Please join the conversation.
And everything we say is completely factually true and not our opinion. You must take what we say as gospel. So,
amen.
yeah. Okay. Have a good one.
See ya.